Hello and welcome back to Confidence in Christ with Kayla. Today we are in Proverbs 18 verse 13. It's a short one, are you ready? It says, "To answer before listening, that is folly and shame." Oof. Does that one hit you as hard as me? Oh my lands, how many times have I talked before I've listened? I feel like us humans are prone to that. Like when we listen to people, it's like we're trying to decide what we're going to say before they're finished talking. So we don't really listen because we're so busy formulating our first sentence that we totally miss what they're saying. I can't be the only one here. Like somebody agree with me. And I am really trying to change that. I'm trying to take those thoughts captive and stop them. That way I can be a better friend and I can listen and I can really and truly care about them, because that's what builds strong relationships. Think about it. If you're talking and you can just tell when a friend is like half listening, half trying to decide what they're going to say next, like you don't feel heard and you don't feel like you are really mattering to them in that moment. It's all about them because what they have to say or their story or their one-up or whatever. And right here, God says that it is folly and shame. Now, I looked up the word folly, and in the Bible, it actually is meaning like you don't have a proper understanding, like fear of God, or it's like not thinking clearly. Folly is just a nice word for like acting dumb. If we're going to be totally honest, like, what are you thinking? And we all know what shame is. And to answer before we listen, that those things follow. And one thing that I just try and remember, and I hope you can remember this too, is that like God gives us that ability to control our thoughts, and he gives us that ability to change this. We can change the fact that we try to answer before we listen. It's not something that we're just born with, or that's just how I am. It's something you and I can make a decision and stand firm in it. And we can decide that we are going to be friends and wives and husbands that we listen before we answer, because sometimes all people need is just to be heard. Like, is there ever a time where you just really don't want to be fixed? You just don't want someone to give you their feedback. You just need to talk and get it off your chest. You just want somebody to listen. And we all want to be that friend for someone too. And right here, we can learn and we can make a declaration in our lives that we are going to be that friend. We're going to be the ones that listen before we answer. And we aren't going to be in our folly, in our shame. We're going to go against the current, and we're going to do as God asked, and we're going to listen first. And this doesn't just go for friends. This goes for God too, right? Like we have to listen to him before we can just answer or ask for things. And we can have confidence that God will give us the ability to do this. He will strengthen us and give us the mental capacity and strength to follow through and to be good listeners. So today, walk away in confidence, knowing that God will give you everything you need to be a good listener and a good friend.